Supporters of former President Donald Trump are not taking the news of the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago very well. In fact, there are many out there that are actually calling for violence and civil war. In fact, I'm going to show you here some people over the Donald subreddit, where they are calling to lock and load. Here we are. So those are, again, some users from the Donald Reddit lock and load. Are we not in a cold civil war at this point? Several points ago. They cry out in pain as they strike you. So now remember that, because I'm going to explain that. To which Swamp Kraken replies, they will cry out in authentic pain soon. Oh, interesting. So now, no, what's more interesting here is how they just used an anti-Semitic statement. Look, is that any surprise? But no, let me explain the meaning here. They cry out in pain as they strike you actually comes from an old Polish proverb. The Jew cries out in pain as he strikes you, which happens to be a saying that is very popular among neo-Nazis. So, yeah, very, very popular on Stormfront. But hey, what do you expect from the Donald subreddit? All right, but there's more. Another collection of tweets here and images. I mean, look at all that. There's so much you can't even read it. It's a mix of totally normal reactions from both regular people as well as influencers, all talking about the upcoming Civil War, Civil War II, talking about just how they're ready to do violence. Now, the NRA also tweeted something out in response to the raid, saying, shall not be infringed, simply. Oh. Gee, I wonder if we're dealing with a violent cult. We might be. I go back to the survey where 4 in 10 Republicans say that political violence may be necessary. Now, and that's in, of course, from an American Enterprise Institute survey that also found that nearly 3 in 10 Americans, including 39% of Republicans, agreed that if elected leaders will not protect America, the people must do it themselves, even if it requires violent actions. Which is why, of course, you see framing like this. All right, well, there was supposed to be something there. Here we are. These are, again, Congress people and the House Judiciary for the Republican Party. The Democrat-led Department of Justice declared an all-out war on President Trump and his supporters. War. This does not happen in civilized countries. Because civilized countries don't have people like MAGA chuds that are, unfortunately, members of a majority party. If this can happen to a president of the United States, imagine what can happen to you. They're coming for you. If they can do it to a former president, imagine what they can do to you. Marsha Blackburn, Democrats just voted to give IRS 87,000 more agents if the DOJ can target President Trump. Imagine what they're going to do to anyone who dares support him. You mentioned that they did this because Donald Trump had documentation that he had taken from the White House that he's not supposed to take, including classified information. But hey, look, obviously every American that's a Trump supporter somehow has classified documentation inside of their house and so are subject to the FBI? What? No, the FBI isn't coming after you. Normal people didn't take potentially classified documentation. Normal people didn't try to steal an election. Crazy people did. Look, all this was an attempt to try to hold a powerful person accountable. And look, I'll admit that I was wrong about Merrick Garland. I was very tough on him. And look, turns out he woke up and became Dark Garland. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But look, that's the thing too, right? Knowing that this backlash was inevitable, that they were going to say all of these insane, unhinged things, okay? The fact that the FBI still thought we have to do this raid means that they had to be very, very sure, damn sure, that there was something of interest there, because you do not raid a former president's home and take his safe for no reason. Because again, if you were to do that, I would be against it. Again, a lot of Republicans would be right that if they found nothing, then this would be incredibly wrong. It would be an abuse of power. It would be political. And I would, of course, be against it. I think we would all be against it, regardless of our personal feelings about Trump. If he didn't do anything wrong, then of course we wouldn't support law enforcement just or targeting him using political power to go after someone who didn't do anything wrong. But see, the issue is we think he did do something wrong. And see, understand, there's a difference here between normal people and cultists for Trump. Okay? Now, cultists are out here actually calling to investigate and lock up their political opponents or just do violence against them for just being their political opponents. How many times did they investigate Benghazi? About 7 times. Millions of dollars spent and nothing. Guess who brought up Benghazi? Eric Trump. Why didn't they look into Benghazi? They already did. Moron, idiot. They did. They were already there, and it was a waste of time. You want to talk about political witch hunts? There it is. Hillary's emails, same thing. Did Hillary Clinton mess up and use a private server to store potentially classified emails? Yep. Now, the issue with that is that it's a security issue, a national security issue. Those emails could have been intercepted, and other countries could have gotten that data. In fact, another country did get those emails. Stupid? Absolutely. Negligent? Yup. Criminal? Not necessarily. Now, if you tear up documentation and you flush it down the toilet or you eat it after being told that you need to keep those documents for official presidential records consistently over and over, and then taking other documents from the White House knowing that you were not supposed to do so, yeah, it turns out that might be criminal. And of course, the response to that is, but Hunter Biden, okay. If Hunter Biden did something wrong, okay, punish him. He's not above the law. Nobody is. You're not going to see a lot of leftists be like, oh, wait, no, not Hunter Biden. No, if he did something wrong, obviously. That said, is Hunter Biden an elected official? No. Is Hunter Biden president of the United States? No. Is there any evidence that President Joe Biden is using his executive authority to shield Hunter Biden from prosecution? No. And if there is, that would be a real scandal. And that would be a huge problem. But from what it seems right now, all of that talk is a deflection from Trump and the people around him who flouted law because they thought they could get away with it. Now, one would hope that this could be a reminder to the right wing that, hey, look, you're not above the law. Obviously, we're all under the same laws. And that law should be applied equally. But we can see that the far right is not taking it that way, and instead is going full nuclear meltdown, and I don't know, possibly could lead to violence. I hope we're not going in that direction. I hope it's just a lot of bluster and a lot of talk. But again, with these people and seeing what they've done on January 6th, and again, these lone wolf attacks on law enforcement, the domestic terrorism and the threat from far right groups, that's it. again, it's scary to think what could happen.